So, what is up, guys? We have two Liberator cards that were revealed today, and this is on Fang, Garmore's effect. So now we get a nice peek at them, and let's just say it's up there. So how he works is they boost it down to CB2 to call the top card of your deck to an open rearguard circle. This effect is repeated until you have no open rearguard circles. Also, when placed, this unit gets the following ability until the end of the next turn. Your Liberator rearguards cannot be retired by your opponent's card effects or lose intercept. So what does this mean? This means that Seal Dragons won't affect it. This means Intercept Killers won't affect it. It just means you actually get to keep an Intercept if you, hypothetically speaking, actually top deck Intercepts first off. First off, you have to top deck them. This card's already looking very Carsy. I didn't think they would leave it as a Cars effect, but they did. They just gave it the priority of, since like, okay, they gave you two options with this card. Option one was looking at the top three cards would have been a mistake. That's number one. Number two, calling the top cards just there for you to be safe. So if they try to do any Seal Dragon plays or Retire plays or Vowing Saber plays, this is mostly supposed to be like a counter pick against the critical. So pretty much they made Fang Liberator Garmore they just made him so he can block most of the Narukami and Kagero stuff. That's number one. Number two, they made this effect so Vowing Saber will never get that crit against gold. So this is like the counter pick to freaking I guess Narukami's now. So you would have to, out of like, so you have like, how do I put this? You have like a chance at max like 5 cards, possible 5 cards due to how you set the field up. If you can rock with 2 intercepts and kill, you can max it up to 5, you can max it up to 4. It depends how your field is set up for your attacks. If they have intercepts, you're just trying to get the damage in, you can get it done. The only problem is with all this calling comes consequences, and those consequences being you'll most likely be calling max like a couple of your triggers by now. So this effect is really high up in the air right now for what it's worth. The problem with this is we're calling the top freaking card. We are not choosing what we pick. This is already very, very limited to what Liberators did not need. This isn't Vanguard TCG, Bushy. This is 0, and we needed more options when it comes to Liberators because they don't have anything. Nothing really good for them. This doesn't even help as much. I appreciate the calling, but oh my god, I needed a better call card, or there better be some really high tier call intercepts that are coming to this set that we're actually going to need. Just saying. So with Garmore's effect revealed, it is an issue. He gains 5,000 power when he puts a Liberator at the bottom of the deck. So he has like a Pelennor effect. So again, more up in the air nonsense going on there with that. This is just awkward, actually. Out of everything revealed in the set, this card is just looking like more of like a counter pick to Narus and Kageros, and that's about it. This effect is pretty much worthless against any other normal deck, I guess, because they don't get retired or any of that. So again, I was expecting a better update when it came to Fang Garmore, but they kept it like cars, but now it just costs CB2 instead of CB3. So you could spam it, but keep in mind, the more cards you call from the top of your deck, the less likely you're going to keep a unit. So on and so forth. But that's why they make you do the return effect with them. If he said you can return 2 cards, I would say this effect actually held its value. Like, what I mean by this is, if Fang Garmore actually was able to return 2 cards to the bottom of the deck, then it would hold some value. Because then that gives us more options to try to get our insets better, because we're increasing our options to keep throwing garbage in the back row and hopefully fixing up our front row to having those intercepts. And that's number one. But yeah, seeing Fang Garmore now, yikes. Not the best, but not the worst either. Maybe this comes in handy when you're fighting against Chaosbreaker Dragon, which actually is going to beg the question, is this effect seeing the future of Chaosbreaker Dragon? We'll have to wait and see, because Chaosbreaker Dragon actually retires a unit once it unlocks. So will he be the counter pick to that even? Because Castrator Drag retires into they draw a card. If they can't retire, the lock meant nothing, so on and so forth. So we'll see how Fang Garmore will be playing out in Vanguard Zero. Wow, we talked about this card for 5 minutes, but it was a big debate because Liberators have so much going on that they need some really good buffs here and there, and this was definitely not helpful. Definitely not. So, Barcgal Liberator, as we saw in yesterday's prediction video, he was going to come, and he maintained his effect when the attack by Blasted by Liberator, this unit boosts, it hits a Vanguard. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, call a free Liberator. So this helps you fin, but it helps you get you a unit for next turn, so you start prepping. So this helps you with that. So this is good like turn 2 plays. I mean, if you have this card and you have Wingull, your Wingull Liberator fetching your Blaster Blades, you can definitely make this happen really fast. So this unit was actually more of a plus than I give it credit for, because putting the unit in the back is good enough. But yeah, at least this maintained its value. Still sad it comes in at rest, but like I said, it's more like a turn 2, set up the column, so on and so forth. No way to kind of restand unless there's going to be some G2s when called restand or something like that. But yeah, Fang Garmore Liberator, guys. Your thoughts always will be up there, trust me. I do these videos so we go over in depth like how much can this really affect any game. But this, yeah. I would have appreciated if it was, you know, you put 2 Liberators back to the bottom of the deck, but since it's only 1, the combo plays are definitely gone. The most likely one you will be returning is definitely one of your back rows that are behind him. I mean, you can return another one that's in a different row, but the main goal is to get your intercept game, but you're legit limiting your options, like, anyways. So, yeah, that sucks. Anyways, guys, at least everything else kind of looked good. I mean, Ethic Buster looked amazing. Freaking Vowing Saber looked amazing. Fang Garmore Liberator, he's up there. He's up for debates now. I don't see how good he can be with this type of effect, because we all have our issues with cars, and this is definitely not one of them. This is one of the big issues, calling your triggers, and this just left that open to the world. So thanks for watching, guys. Be good. I'm going to bring you this video and some of my opinion on it and how it will affect the meta. But thanks for watching. Yeah, this wasn't as good as we thought it'd be. CB2 is nice and all, but yikes. Just yikes. It's not that good yet. I mean, there's stuff to it. It's just, I just got to see more of the units. I mean, there's got to be another G. There has to be a G2 I'm calling that's going to be good for this. We'll see. Peace out.